Welcome to the morning service, and it's an honor for us to have everyone here. Today marks the one of the most anticipated times in IGC sa ating pong time, sa ating season. One of the most looked after time, even in our viewership. So as it is this morning. A few days before we begin, we do have certain notes. We do have certain important events that are coming up. Paki-calendar din na po yan. First of all, we're excited to be able to announce our couples retreat, which will be on November 30 and December 1. So, maaga pa lang po, in-announce na namin way ahead of time in order to, for everyone to calendar that. And so, ito po ay holiday. So, wala na kayong excuse. Okay? So, November 30 po to December 1st. That's right. So, if you would like to join us, kung kayo po ay obviously mag-asawa, go. Kung kayo po ay planning on getting married or considering that, sign up. We praise the Lord. Kahapon, congratulations kay Pastor Wes. Yan, example ng itong dalawang ito, simula, nakakatatlong couples retreat na itong dalawang na ito, when they were considering getting married, nag-attend na kagad sila. And so they reaped what they sowed for 3 straight years, and so finally they got there, at God's right time. They have the right idea. They really do. Why? Kasi, lalo sa mga singles natin who have someone in their life that's getting married or thinking about that in their mind, kung mag-decide kayo to find out what you need to do, pag dun pa lang, kakasal na kayo, di po kayo resolve ng marriage counseling yan. Okay? And so we want to congratulate them. They've been blessed and well sa kanilang relationships, and we praise God for them. Please pray for Pastor Joseph and Ate Mary sa pagkawala ng kanilang anak at pagkaroon ng panibago. So, congratulations to them. So again, sa couples natin, and those who are engaged to be married, November 30, December 1. Okay? Pastor, if we attend these events, does that mean hindi na kayo magkakaproblema? Hindi po. Magkakaproblema kayo. Alam mo bakit? Tinamin mo ang katabi mo. Yung asawa mo, yan ang problema mo eh. Okay? Yan din ang blessing mo. Okay? So, the idea is not that you will not have problems. The idea is what to know when they happen. What to know when they happen and how things happen. So join us there. The title of this year is Going from Good to Great. Okay? Pastor, sabi po hindi good. Sabi, not very good. Okay lang. Buhay ka lang, pwede tayo. Okay? While you are alive. So, do consider that. Today is I'm going to be preaching on a model that was given to us about family. From the book of Psalms. Interestingly, it was pinasulat dito ng isang tao who was not very good in this family. I pray to God that we will have that kind of mindset to learn. I understand yung sabi na experience is the best teacher. Okay, gets ko yun from the worldly perspective. But that is not a biblical perspective. Okay? Sasabihin ko sa inyo, from the get-go, when I get this series, hindi po biblical perspective, ang experience is the greatest teacher. Yes, we learn a lot of good and bad, hard and pleasant things from our experiences, but that is not God's design. Okay? Experience is not the greatest teacher. Obedience is the greatest teacher. Ulitin ko. Okay? If you are single, okay? If you are married, if you are a young person, obedience is the greatest teacher. not experience, is the greatest teacher. Okay? I'm going to put that out there right now. Ngayon pala. Okay? If you are messed up in your relationships right now, if you're messed up in your marriage right now, if you're messed up in your past relationship, kung single ka, it's because obedience was not your teacher. Okay? Opo. Hindi po ang iyong pinagdaanan ang pinakamainam na guro sa buhay. Pagsunod po ang pinakamainam na guro sa buhay. Okay? Alright? I mean, that is as simple as this. Having lung cancer is not the greatest teacher kung bakit huwag ka dapat magsigarilyo. Alright? Okay. May nakalagay na nga eh. Kaya kung bata ako, nakalagay lang ito eh. The Surgeon General says, warning, cigarette smoking can be bad for your health. Wow, hindi makagets yung mga tao. May mga picture ng mga balik-balik tao, mga balik, walang ilong, walang ganito, walang ganito. Prangkahan eh! Cigarette smoking will kill you! Pag hindi pa nito itong mga tao sa susunod na ito, I will kill you. Yan ang susunod doon. Hindi ko sa ito. Tama? Obedience is the greatest teacher. David wrote in Psalm 127, or have written as a song in this format. It says, and I'm reading from the Message translation, so maninibago kayo ng konti. Sometimes I will use another version on a very familiar passage. Bakit, Pastor? Para po maiba yung pananaw. Kasi kung minsan, if we read the same passages in the same versions that we have committed to memory, nawawalan ng dating. No? Let me prove my point. Sino rito, meron kayong refrigerator sa bahay na may mga note, pictures, magnets, stickers sa harapan, taas ang kamay? Sino rito naalala nyo kung ano nakasulat doon? Anong pictures? Anong posisyon? Sa gitna, sa kaliwa? Who remembers every detail on your refrigerator? You will remember some, not all. Why? Because after a while, what is in the foreground, nasa harapan, becomes a background. Okay? Kasi nasanay na kayo. No? Yung mga nasa favorite seats nyo today, yung mga tayo, may mga member tayo, pag nawala sa silya nila, hindi sila mapakali kasi ibang na silya. Sinek mo ba kung may bubble gum yan? Oo, pastor, matamis pa yung ako, hindi na sa upuan ko. Because we're so used to sitting there. Sorry na. So I use a different version to shake things up a little bit. And for us to understand, okay, if God doesn't build a house, the builders only build shacks. You know what is a shack compared to a house? A house in the time of David was usually made of mortar. No? Putik na matibay or blocks na binuo. Okay? Shack is a, mga kabataan, hindi po yan yung basketball player na malaki. Okay? Wrong spelling. Shack yung po yun. Okay? This is shacks, is a kubo. It's a dilapidated house. Isang bahay na mabuhay, mabilis mag-iba. So unless the Lord build a house, the builders only build shacks. It doesn't guard the city. You've got to guard the city. The watchman might as well now. Kung ang Diyos daw ang hindi nagbabantay, matulog na lang sana yung bantay. It is useless to rise early and go to bed late. No? And work your worried fingers to the bone. Don't you know that He enjoys giving rest to those He loves? That is more simple. Sabi ng verse, useless daw na magkadapagod ka kaka-OT para kumita ka sa malapit pera kasi Diyos po ang nagbibigay ng tunay na kapahingahan. Iba sa inyo, nag-iipon ng maraming pera kasi gusto nyo magbakasyon. Pagkatapos yung bakasyon, kailangan nyo magbakasyon kasi napagod kayo sa bakasyon. Tama? After ng vacation leave, nagpala ng sick leave. No? Tama. Yun ang mami ko, ang concept ng bakasyon, nakapagod. Okay. You will work your fingers to the bone. Don't you know that he enjoys giving rest to those he loves? Don't you see that children are God's best gift? In fact, the traditional statement calls it heritage. Pamana. Pamana. God's best gift, the fruit of the womb, is his generous legacy, like a warrior's fistful of arrows, are the children of vigorous youth. Kaya ako, dami ko anak. Si Arwel, sa Odi na ng brother. Congrats. Josh, congrats din. Nanonood ka. Ako po, yung quiver ko puno na. Anim ang anak ko. No, may ako pa. Nagdagdag pa ako ng dalawang adopted. Tapos dinagdag ko ng mga alaga ko marami. Hindi na po quiver ang dala ko. Tangke na. Kaya ako kayo loko-loko. Okay? How blessed are you parents? With your quivers full of children, your enemies don't stand a chance against you. You will sweep them right off your doorstep. Magandang message translation din ni Dr. Eugene Peterson. I love how the verse is set up. Kasi if you notice the setup, he keeps talking about futility. Vain, useless. And then at the end of the verses, he speaks of blessings. He's using what we call in hermeneutics a form of comparison. Ipapakita niya yung ganito as in contrast to ganito. Pwedeng ganito or pwedeng ganito. He's using a teaching in the form of a comparison so that you'll understand the difference between the two. Night and day, langis, tubig, alat at matamis. Okay? He's saying useless. You know? Ito sa kabila. What he's actually also proposing is that lahat ng gusto mong gawin dito sa lower part, you're trying to answer by the front part. Sino buti? Lahat ng sino dito ang ayaw ng pahinga. Hindi yan po simple rest, kapanatagan ng loob. Sino dito, who among you here wants to have a family, and in your family life, you want to be panata, calm, confident. Who wants to have children or a legacy that is stable? Hindi yung anak mo, hindi mo alam kung ano nangyayari sa buhay niya. Sino gusto ng mga anak na lagalag? Sino gusto ng mga anak na palaboy at patapon? No one wants that. We all work hard. Myself, we work hard to make sure to do what? Sa mga magulang dito, you work hard to make sure your children go to school, learn what they can, guide them through life, through every issue of life, all the way hanggang tapos na. Kaya nag-iiyakan pagkasal. No? Lalo yung mga anak na babae, nag-iiyakan. Sabi ng mga tatay, pinag-aaral ko, pinag-aaral ko, tapos sabupunta lang sa gorilla. Sabi nila, marrying off your daughter is like giving a Stradivarius violin to a gorilla. Pero okay lang. Ako po, wala akong problema dyan. Anak, nasa ka ba? Nasa nursery. Lahat po ng application, kaya sabi lang kayo, isa lang naman ang requirement dyan, kailangan kayo tanggapin yung suntok niya. Ang lakas ng suntok ng bata niya. After that, saka tama gusto ng doktrina, yun muna. Pagkatapos natin mag-counseling, reverend ka na. But isn't that what we want? Pag may gulo sa buhay, kasama mo yung mga anak mo, you will weather the storms together. You're strong. You will sweep enemies off your way. Who doesn't want that? No? But it's interesting kasi David outlines in the top part there, what we normally do in order to achieve yung lower part. And he's saying, itong lower part na to, you cannot accomplish if you do it the wrong way. So he's talking about foundations. He's talking about what matters when we speak of foundations. Pag pinag-usapan ko yung mga pundasyon sa pamilya, why, Pastor, I have quoted this before, dinagdagan ko lang ng isa sa ilalim that you might want to write down. The first one is, I said this before the first part, the values you build today will anchor your family tomorrow. You've heard me say that a million times. I've decided to simplify that even more using the bottom. They will hallow what you follow. Your family, your children will hallow. Hallow yung parang gano'n. You know what's the word hallow? Ginamit mo sa Bible yan ni Jesus. And sabi niyo, when you pray like this, Our Father who art in heaven, hallowed, with an A, not hollow. Ang hollow with an O is bahaw, walang laman. Hallow means to be holy. Okay? Actually, yung modern translation, unfortunately with our Catholic brothers, they say, holy be your name. Mali po yung translation yun. Kasi the word hallow, okay, is not a noun, it's a verb. Verb po yun. Kasi mo holy, banal ang pangalan mo. Hallow means pagimbanalin ang pangalan mo. When you say hallow, it means you make something holy. You treat it as holy. Ano ang mga banal na bagay sa bahay niyo? What if you hallow? Because your family will hallow what you follow. Fathers, listen to me. Fathers, listen to me. Your children will hallow what you follow. Pagiging banalin ng inyong mga anak ang iyong sinusunod. They will hallow what you follow. Okay? Ang tanong ko ito, mga tatay, mga boyfriend at girlfriend, ano ang banal dyan sa buhay mo? Malalaman yan kung paano ka nabubuhay. Fathers, if all you do is work, make money, work, then to you, no matter what you say, to you, work and money is the holiest thing. I remember yun ako dati, many years ago, there was a time when I was studying and yun ako nag-drawing ng project sa school. Si Franklin naman to. Si Franklin kasi may artistic ano yan. Okay. Iba ma-arte lang kasi. Si Franklin may artistic ano yan. Nag-drawing siya ng family. No? Family. So, pinag-picture niya, family. Wala pa si Noah nun. Family. Yung mami niya, nandun, tapos naka-apron, saka, bakit pastor? Parang patulong niyo ba si Ate Isa? Parang gano'n na ako. May apron, saka may paluto. At saka may libro. I remember that picture vividly. So, sinasabi niya na kung paano magmahal si mami niya, nagtuturo bilang teacher, saka nagluluto, mga sila. Tapos yung mga kapatid niya, si ate, si kuya, ganyan. Tapos ako nasa isang tabi, nakaupo, may lamesa. And there's something there na parang square. Sabi ko, ano yan? What is that? I sat down, there's something square. Sabi niya, Daddy, yung laptop mo! Sabi ko, why? Si Mami may ganito and ganito. Why am I sitting on the table with the laptop? And he wasn't meaning anything about it. Sabi niya, kasi ikaw parang nagtatrabaho sa laptop eh. On that day, I decided. Sabi ko, you mean pag nag-aaral ako ng preaching? Hindi! Parang di ka kasi nag-aaral, parang ka sa laptop. Silent review. No? He didn't know, he didn't realize, he was once more rebuking his father. And I said to myself, Napaisip ako eh. Typical na lalaki, defensive muna tayo bago bawi ng tama, di ba? Typical na lalaki, mga may lalaking kasawa, you don't ask your wife because you respect yourself. Bakit, Pastor? Kasi kahit di mo tanongin sa asawa mo, sasabihin din naman niya sa'yo, di ba? Hintayin mo na lang. Delikado po yun. May kasama pong kidlat yun pag hinintay mo sabihin niya asawa mo. Okay? So, I took a step back and I said, hold on. So that day on, I decided I would study pagtulog na sila. That also meant I would sleep at 3 and 4 in the morning. Ganun talaga buhay. It is what it is. Because they will hallow what they follow. God bless fathers who are here, who are at home. Pinagpala ng Panginoon ang mga tatay na nandito, na nung una sa tingin mo, ikaw ay nawalan ng trabaho, at ikaw ngayon ang taong bahay. You have been given an incredible privilege to impact your family. Never underestimate the working of God in your life. Okay? Because apparently, God knows that your kids need a father more now than later. Same thing with moms. Sa moms, hindi na pinag-uusapan yun, di ba? Kasi pag ang nanay nasa bahay, iisip ka, ganun talaga dapat to. If God gives you the ability to work, fine. But understand your priorities because they will hallow what you follow. Sa mga singles na nandito, sa mga kabataan nandito, your relationships, they will hallow what you follow. Let's understand what the verses mean, Pastor. Okay? There are two things I want you to see when it comes to understanding yung totoong valuations or valuable things in your family. Okay? When we talk about these things, the first thing we will need to see that David was trying to say, that kung gusto mong mapaayos yung buhay mo, personally or in your life, okay, if you're single or married, you must have at least two things. First thing you need to have is one is a proper foundation, which means what? A godly Christian marriage is invaluable. Notice what it says. Unless the Lord builds the house, let God build your house. Okay? Let God build your house. When you are dreaming, sa mga nag-aaral na kabataan dito, while you dream for a job, while you dream for a career, let God build the career. Okay? God's values or no values at all. Undeniable yan. He says, unless kung hindi ang Diyos ang gagawa ng bahay mo. Masarap pakinggan, ang lungkot ng susunod. Kung hindi ang Diyos ang magtataguyod ng bahay mo, naghihirap ka lang sa wala. Sabi ng The Message Translation, sabi niya, you might as well, you only build shacks. A godly Christian marriage. Pastor, single po ako. When do I build a godly Christian marriage? Right now. Pastor, wala pa akong girlfriend tsaka boyfriend. Exactly. Sasegue ako sandali lang. Kasi dami natin singles ha? Please don't expect a godly partner if you are ungodly. Do not expect a godly partner if you are ungodly. Because if you are ungodly, you will never find godly people in ungodly places. It stands to reason. Hello, mag-isip naman. Hindi mo bawal yan. Libreng mag-isip. Okay mga kabataan, hindi ka makakakita ng banal na partner sa lugar na puro salaula ang tao. Kung salaula ka, salaula din ang mahanap mo. Pastor, may kita ako Christian sa club. Hindi Christian yan. Salaula yan. Ha? Ang lalo ng Tagalog ng pastor. Ha? Barong-balian! Walang pakinabang yan. Nasubukan nyo na bang mapunta sa smoker's lounge? Ha? Paglabas mo sa smoker's lounge, do you smell like Dolce and Gabbana? No, you smell like Marlboro. Pag nagluto sa bahay ng tuyo, pasubok, katabi ko. Hindi lang naligo yan. Pag nagluto sa bahay ng tuyo, kaya sa bahay namin, pag Sunday, bawal magluto. O wala naman. Walang luto sa morning, sa tanghali, sa bahay namin. Bakit? Kasi ayaw po namin malaman nyo, habang nag-worship, nakakasal kami ganyan. Tapos sabi ko, Pastor, parang gusto ko ng tapsin mo. Na-inspire eh. Okay. Pag nagluto ko ng tuyo sa bahay, when you get out of the house and you cook tuyo, you won't smell like Dolce. You will smell like a wet dog. No? Amoy basang aso kapag labas mo. Bakit? Naluto eh. Come on now. Unless the Lord builds your house, you're wasting your time. You know, the foundation of Pastor, I'm already married. That's the problem. If your marriage is a mess today, it's just not that someone is messed up. If your relationship is a mess today, understand it did not get messed up yesterday. It's messed up because your foundation is exposing you. Pag magulo yung relationships mo, hindi po kasalanan mo, kasalanan niya. Kasalanan yung dalawa. Yung pundasyon lumalabas. Alam niyo pagbaha? Yung malalaking puno tumutumba. Alam niyo bakit? It's obvious. The foundation is showing. Malaki lang siya, matibay, mataas. Matibay lang, pag dumaan yung bagyo, natutumba. Why? Because it was built on a weak foundation. Pastor, thank you. I'm so glad you say that. Paglabas ko ng church mamaya, magpapanak ko ng asawa. Ano yung gulong? Ano yung pinapalta ko? Gusto maligo? It doesn't work that way. But unless the Lord builds the house, you see, this aspect cannot be compromised. Your home is only as strong as the foundations it has been built on. Ang tibay ng bahay mo ay kasi tibay lang ng pundasyong kinatatayuan ito. Okay? Ang tibay ng bahay mo ay sintibay lang ng pundasyong tinatayuan ito. Okay? Please understand that because si David, una-una yan eh. Hermeneutics, the doctrine of first mention, yung unang sabihin, pinaka-importante. And David says, unless the Lord builds your house. Pastor, my house is a mess right now. What do I do? You can't remove your entire house without killing the house. Tama ba yan? Isa ka sa mga pundasyon ng bahay. So if you're here, and you are a father or a mother, or a child in the home, lalo yung father and mother, you can't remove yourself. If you are the weak foundation, let God fix it. If you are weak in your foundation, let God fix it. If your temper is the problem, let God fix your temper. If your mouth is the problem, let God fix your mouth. If your mind is the problem, let God fix your mind. Yung pala yung problema eh. Save the foundation. Let God strengthen the foundation. Ang problema na mag-aasawa ko minsan, nagkakagulo na yung bahay, imbis na ayusin, nagtuturuan. Don't you find that interesting? What if this, you see this foundation here? Ang church natin, by the way, is overbuilt. No? Nung pina-assess to ni Tito Marusap, sabi, Pastor, the old plans of the building hindi na makita. Sabi mo, Tito eh. That was when we were renovating, you know. Sabi niya, gano'n po ba kalaki ang pundasyon nitong poste na ito? Sabi ko, Tito, I'm not sure, but as a young child, I used to swim in the foundation. Kasi, gano'n po kaya kalaki? Ang pundasyon po niya, magano kalaki. Napakalaki. Ay, kung gano'n po, kahit mga 10 stories, kaya ng building natin. Palaki po. That is overbuilt. Para malagyan ng pintuan yun eh. Dalawang jack cameras yung ginano. It's overbuilt. You see? I'd rather overbuild something than underbuild. That's what I'm telling you. The problem with marriages today, instead of letting God fix it, getting a biblical perspective on what needs to be done, we're busy pointing fingers. Pwede bang sabihin ng pundasyon niyo, pag bumuhog ng building, mahina ka kasi. Hindi, mahina ka eh. Nagturuan. Kaya maraming building na sisira. Ano yung bakit? Nagtutuwa na ng mga tao. No? Diba? Parang yung nakarang gobyerno natin sa Facebook, gumawa ng mga CR, walang pader. Nakita niyo ba yun? Puro yung doro lang. Huwag kayo mamintas, nagtitipid sila. Pagpasok mo sa CR, hindi ka kadyalo kapag may mukha mo. O, diba? Kung binabasa ka na, may pamunas ka pa mamaya. Yun yung purpose ko. Diba? Parang nagpunta kami sa Japan, dinakpas. Sabi nung hapon ako sa pastor, this is Japanese tradition. Okay. Kasama ko pa si Drew eh. Pasok. No? Punta kami public bath. If you ever to public bath, isa siya malaking hot spring lahat ng tao nakahubad. Okay, alam ko bad visual yun. Tapos kung sakit, nabigyan kami ng tuwalya. Ganito kalaki. Ano po ito sa akin, bagay? Sabi ko, para saan mo ba ito tuwalya ito? Naisip ko bigla, parang ganito. Malaking ito mo ka eh. May dumating na kasama ko, sumu-wrestler. Aba, hindi nila niya. Para si Adan. Times 35, di ba? Eh, ganyan lang pala eh. Tara na! Kaya kami ni Drew, anak, tandaan mo kang damit at ang tingin. Usapan namin. It was a mess. We can't do that. We can't close our eyes and say, may problema kami, pero mawala. We can't do that. It's not going to go away. Because the Bible says, unless God is the foundation of your home, unless God is the foundation of your children, unless God is the foundation of your dreams, unless God is the foundation of your ambition, you're wasting your time. You might as well build a shack. Gumawa ka ng barong-barong sa isang tabi. Huwag ka na mangarap. Bakit? Kasi sira din yan. Interestingly, secondly, it says, sabi niya, alin mo na lang, naintindihan natin, sabi natin, ang tibay ng, ang tibay ng bahay mo ay kasi tibay lang ng pundasyong tinatayuan ito. Pundasyong tinatayuan ito. A godly marriage is invaluable. Okay? With these singles, if you want a godly marriage, be godly now. Pastor, ako hindi ako ganun nag-start. Pero yung asawa ko naman naging Christian. Oh, praise the Lord. Hindi naawa ang Diyos sa'yo, naawa sa mga anak mo. Sa mga nandito, na nag-asawa ka lang, hindi tagasunod ng Panginoon, tapos ngayon kasama mo na sila sa church, hindi po yan dahil sa'yo. Ikaw, bahala ka sa buhay mo. Kasi you made your decision consciously. Yan ay para sa mga anak mo. Okay? Ang dapat na pangalan mo, Jack. Short for jackpot. Godly Christian marriage is invaluable. Again, I want to quote from Harold Sala. Harold Sala, sa mga oldest teachers ng family values sa Pilipinas. Talagang Pilipinas based yan. Sabi niya sa kanya, how do you find a godly person, Lord's will? Sabi niya, run hard after God's will. Look to the left, look to the right, you will find one. Okay? Wala po kayong maaamoy o makakasamang mabagong baboy sa babuyan. Labas. Ayusin mo yung buhay mo. If your marriage is a mess, remove the wrong foundation so that God fix it. It's as simple as that. Pastor, mahirap kaya? Mahirap kasi nasanay ka eh. Favorite natin yun. No? Meron tayo mga favorite na Ako po, I will admit, it's season for the family. It's very vulnerable time para sa mag-asawa. So I usually am the first one to admit. My number one, my kids will attest to this. My number one weakness, kung gusto mo makasal ako sa'yo, na mabilis is this. Okay? Pag malinaw na, pinapalabo mo pa. Natetestin ko yung aking pasensya. Kapag sinabi mo ng malinaw, pinaliwanag mo lahat na pagbalik hindi alam. Hindi ko alam, napapraning ako sa ganun. But actually, my bad response, is when I think through something and someone doesn't think, nahihirapan ako. I get really irritated with that. And I have to watch myself. And my wife has to constantly remind me. Okay? That's why a godly Christian marriage is invaluable. Alam niyo bakit? Kasi pag ungodly ka, kailangan mo ng isa na godly na magpapaalam sa iyo. In my family, that happens to be my wife. And she has that role in my life. Men, listen to your wife. Pastor, kasi happy wife, happy life, I don't agree with that. I don't agree with the happy wife, happy life. I don't agree with that principle. Because if you're living the way God wants you to live, everybody's going to be happy. Pero kung bubula-bulahan mo ng asawa mo, bistado ka niya. The reason why a godly relationship is important because when one becomes ungodly, the godly restores them properly. Let the Lord fill your house. Second, last. Believe it or not, that's last. Pasal ba't ang content? Mamaya, naka-record naman yan, ulitin mo 10 times. A godly set of priorities. Notice again what it says. Build the house. If your families value what kind of family would we have in the end? Kung pinahahalaghan ng iyong pamilya ang mga bagay na mahalaga sa iyo, anong klaseng kahalagahan meron ang pamilya mo? If our families value what we value, ano yung mo sabihin ng pastor? Notice the word build. Important yung word na build. Bakit? Kasi po sabi ng ating presidente, build, hindi yun. Bakit importante yung build? You know what I understand about building? Nobody just builds, tapos na. Building takes a lot of time. Building takes time. Effort, hardships, pain, tears. It takes effort. Okay? That's what building is. Nobody builds overnight. I always say this at retreats, at marriage retreats. I remember several years ago, every once in a while I still do. Pag couples retreat, nagpo-post kami ng mga sayings na gano'n. It takes a lifetime to make a marriage last a lifetime. Kailangan ng lifetime commitment eh. But nobody builds, it just builds. No? Nobody does that. You build. Hanggang dulo. You build to the end of it. You build to the end. You don't build just ganyan lang. I remember walking through Mega Mall, buong pamilya, pagka po ganito marami anak nyo, hindi po family day ang tawag namin doon. Tawag po doon field trip. Lalakad kami sa Mega Mall, tapos yun sa Mega Mall, hinaharang ka ng mga tao doon. Hindi nagbebenta ng condo, alam niyo. Hinaharang ako, so happens, there was one na naharang ako, very persistent, talagang gusto niya akong bentahan. Ako usually say, no, thank you, gano'n. Thank you po, no, thanks, gano'n. Trying to be really gracious. Thank you po, thank you, gano'n. Lapit siya, ako na talaga. Man, he followed us. Sir, hindi kasi ganito sa bahay, parang, okay. Siyempre, hindi naiintindihan. Dalawa lang yan, hindi maintindihan na marami kong anak o hindi maarap ng utak niya paano ako nagkaroon ng ganung maraming anak. Dalawa lang. I will confess. Hindi ko rin po alam kung paano naging ganun karami anak namin. Ang alam ko lang po minsan, parang may hinahalo sa inumin ko, pag-isip ko, nagsigarilyo na si Mrs. Tapos, hindi, joke lang. Baka po, hindi, joke lang. And nanonood kasi habi. But the thing is, ang kulit! So sabi ko, okay, ganito lang. Sabi ko, Gano'n kalaki ba? Ah, sir, we have very large units. Okay. How large, sir? We have ganito. You can tell me about the rooms. Sabi ko, meron ka ba na dyan? 8 room? Okay sa konti, no? 8 yung kwarto. Kasi isipin nyo, kami mag-asawa. Oh. Si Andy, si Drew, si Ashton, ay si Lucas, Ashton, si Toto, si Noah, si Charlie, si Ernie, si Zachy, meron pa sasama sa mami niya. Ang kailangan mo 8. Okay? Sabi ng tao, sir, I don't know a condo that exists in the country right now with 8 rooms. Pwede po kayo bumili, 2 ka-join, kulang pa rin. Mga 3 po, kung yung buong floor. Sabi hindi, gusto ko lang 8 rooms. I like my family close together. But why do you need 8 rooms? Sabi ko, nakita ko lahat na to. Alam ko lahat siya. Sabi niya, investment, sir. So, investment. Pero si Spente, I have to hand it to him. He's very persistent. Atras siya, balik ulit. Investment, sir. So, mag-invest. Magandang investment ako. As if he never heard anything from me. You don't build. You don't build on a whim. You build from the foundation hard. You make sure every single thing will hold up. Nung sumabog yung space shuttle, billions, trillions of dollars were wasted. Nung sumabog yung space shuttle, years of astronaut training. Namatay, every astronaut is dead. Years of training set back the U.S. space program by decades. No? Alam niyo when it exploded? Alam niyo bakit nag-explode? Because merong gasket that was worth $88. Merong gasket, yung gas turbine no space shuttle na defective. And sinabi yung engineer, there's a problem, this might not hold up, but they ignored it, and because of $88, they lost trillions of dollars and set them back in the space program na halos impossible to recover. Out of what? An $88 mistake. $88. Magkano yun? Mga 4,000 pesos? Can you imagine? 4,000 pinag-print mo sa ilan? 8 buhay na astronaut? Isang buong program? Isang billion? All because of what? They did not watch forward foundations. You watch every single thing. Babantayan mo, bawat isa. In our house, what's holy? There's a lot of rules in my house, pero ang mga anak ko, ano yung holy, ano yung hindi. Talking to each other properly, banal sa bahay namin yun. Kung gusto mong matrobol ka bilang anak ko, mag-away kayo sa harapan ng nanay niyo. At maging pangit kayo magsalita. Yan, you will get in trouble. Pag hindi maganda yung tabas ng dila mo, yari ka sa bahay namin. Yan, mga kabataan, magkaibigan nyo kausap nyo, mabait nyo. Pagka kayo kayo magkakapatid, para kayo mga standby sa kanin, mag-usapan. Bawal ang kabastusan sa bahay namin. Bawal ang pagmumura sa loob ng bahay namin. Maraming badal sa bahay namin. Dapat mag-quiet time ang mga anak namin mag-journal. Pagbukas ang simbahan, ang unang tanong ng anak namin ay, hindi kung pupunta ba kami dyan. Ang unang tanong nila dapat ay, anong oras? Mga magulang dito, pag anak nyo nag-aaral, nagpuyat, huwag ka na mag-church. Diba? Exam magbukas. Tapos kinabukasan, para tuloy na anak nyo. Diba? Pag ayaw mag-church na anak nyo, Dad, huwag na ka lang, ulo ko. Tama? Pero pag Lunes, pasokan, Dad! Ang sakit ang ulo ko. Bata ka, bumawa ka! Kung hindi ka bata ka, huwag ka na mag-aaral! Kinder lang yung anak mo. Sabi ko bata, mag-aaral na po ako, kinder. Hindi ako nagtatrabaho! Para hindi na lang pumasok! Preschool. You don't even know why you work. Madali naman malaman yung foundations na binil ko eh. Anong pinapagawa ko sa kanila araw-araw? Dahil lang yun. Pag tinanong mo, una sa kanila, anak, kamusta ka na? Kamusta araw mo? Kung ang unang tanong mo ay, ano? Tapos everything else. Mataas ba grade mo ngayon? Pumasa ka ba sa ganito? Your language reveals your foundation. Kung ang unang tanong mo, pag nag-exam ang anak mo ay, anak, how was your exam? Compared sa anak, anong grade mo? Pumasa ka ba? Then you teach your child what's important. Ibig sabihin, sa mga ng bata, mas mahalaga sa kanya pumasa siya. Kesa kung kailangan niya ng tulong kung naganapan siya. Tama? It reveals, no? No? Kung tayo maglukuhan, magaling malaman yan. No? May ka-text, may naliligaw sa anak mo, o may nakakrasyan yung anak mo. No? Well, delikado ka, dalaga na. Kasain mo na yung porsilyo mo. Ang unang tanong natin, ano? O, diba? Sa bahay namin, apat lang tayo. Problema kay Bruce, lagot nila. Sa bahay namin, apat lang tanong. Unang tanong, Kristiyano ba yan? Pangalawang tanong, naliligod ba sa Panginoon yan? Okay? Kasi kahit Christian yan, hindi naman naliligod sa Panginoon. Baka hindi Christian. Kasi ang totoong Christian, gusto magliligod sa Panginoon. Tama ba? Naliligod ba sa Panginoon yan? Next question. Opposite gender ba yan? Gusto na kayo, millennial yan. Hindi niya katiyan sa bahay namin yun. Iba kasi nula niya sa sasabyan. Mabait ba yan? Magalang ba yan sa mga magulang niya? Kung mabait yan sa'yo, lapastangan sa magulang, hintayin mo, next yan, ikaw na. Masarap kasama sa buhay yung mabulaklak ng salita pag magkaakbay. Pagkaharap mo na, bad trip yan. Hindi na mabulaklak yun, mabulalas na yun. Kaiba yun. Magalang ba sa mga magulang niya yan? Pag lahat sa tatlong tanong ay oo, ang susunod doon, ligawan mo na. Baka makawala. Pag may hindi, katali mo sa poste. Pag dalawang hindi, papatulogin ko na lang. Gigising ko siya pag 40 na siya. Pag tatlo, hindi, babasagin ko yung dalawang tuhod. Alagaan lang ikalang habang buhay. Ganon din naman ang kauwian natin. Pag hinugulpit ka na yan, ganon din naman. Ulit-unahan ko na lang. Why, Pastor? Because it takes effort to build a house. It takes effort to build a house. What do you mean, Pastor, by that means making God normal, not formal. Make God normal. Let your children know that serving, honoring, and loving God first is the greatest accomplishment in life. Serving, honoring, and loving God first is the greatest accomplishment in life. Greatest accomplishment in life. Pero kung si Lucas, sabi niya sa akin, Dad, paglaki ko, of course, bata pa naman siya noong last year, sabi niya, anak, kareho din sa school nila. Preschool siya. Sabi niya, anak, what do you want to be when you grow up? Sabi niya, Dad, gusto ko maging police. Sabi ko, okay. Yung ba sabi ni God sa'yo? Hindi ko alam, pero gusto ko maging police. Thank you, Lucas. Bakit? Kasi dad, nakita ko yung mga baril ng pulis. Ang ganda. Yung banda, binibili nila, hindi yan active din. Oh, gusto ko talaga maging pulis. Kasi maganda rin yung baril mo, libre pa. Diba? Walang kwenta talaga yung sa akin. No? Years later, siguro 3 years later, sagot siya sa akin, balik siya. Career dito naman sa school. Anak, ano gusto mo maging dad? Gusto ko lang maging pastor. Wow, grabe may tears, di ba? Wow. Siyempre proud moment si daddy, di ba? Anak, bakit gusto mo maging pastor? Dad, I want to be a pastor. Bakit? Kasi may costume namin yun eh. Bakit kung maging pastor, siniisip ko naman kasi dad, idol kita. Saka si Papa, may statua, gusto ko din na statua, gano'n. I thought mine was idealistic, no? Mag-preach sa mga tao, they need Jesus, and ganyan. Wow, di ba? Iniisip ko, my mind was going 100 miles an hour. Proud moment si Daddy, no? Tapos ako naman parang, ano? Bakit? Why do you want to be a pastor? Sabi niya, kasi Dad, nakita kita last week. Nililinis mo yung baril mo. Baril pa rin yung weekend. Ang ganda ng baril mo eh. Mas maganda kaysa police. So gusto ko na maging pastor. Sabi ng utak ko, tan, taran, tan, tan. Habang itong bata nito. Make God normal. Ano ibig sabihin ng making God normal? You know, you want to be able to transfer your child's admiration of God, of you, to God. You want to be able to transfer your child's admiration, your child's idolization, your child's desire to be like you to God. Yung pag nasaktan sila, pag may problema sila sa buhay, pag dumaan sila sa pasakit ng buhay, they run straight to God. Bakit, Pastor? Kasi you're not always going to be there. My father went home to be with the Lord very, very early in my life. He had his first stroke in 1998, and the second stroke in 1997, and then 1998 his second stroke. That makes me only 28 years old. And he became that way for 13 and a half years. Until he went home to be with the Lord. So I know what it's like to lose a father even though he's still there. I praise God for a godly father. Because I can't tell you how many times that when I'm in a question in my life, whether in ministry or my personal life or in my marriage, I don't remember the seeds that were planted by my father as a young child. Questions my sister and I would say, what would Dad do in this situation? Questions about character, questions about learning, questions about this and that. And I've always said this, and I'm going to say it again. My greatest regret in life is my children will never know the kind of man my father was the way I know him. He built a good foundation. And I'll tell you this, if I ever make a mistake, and I know I will, if I ever disappoint you, and I know I will, if I ever make stupid mistakes, and I know I will, I praise God, I pray to God I won't. But if I ever do, please understand that was not taught by my father. That's just Pastor James. Hindi ko siya ina-absuelto. I just know. I just know. Because in my house, God was normal. God was so normal in my house that even the relationships I wanted to get into, whether friends or opposite sex, were called to by God. Ang unang tanong, pinag-pray mo na ba yan? Ano ba sabi ng Panginoon dyan? Ano ba sabi ng Bible dyan? Ngayon po sa mga anak ko, dinagdagan ko lang. Ano ba sabi ng Bible? Pag ayaw mong tumingin, ano ba sabi ko? Ano gusto mo? Ito o Bible? Bible na lang po. Okay, Bible tayo. May sa Bible. Iba na kasi yung generation nyo. Make that normal, not formal. Let them understand that serving, honoring, and loving God is the first first is the greatest accomplishment in their life. Why? Because they will hallow what you follow. Your stewardship changes everything. Let me explain, and with this I'll close. This is how fathers and mothers, parents work. This is how husbands and wives work. This is how these relationships work. Ilang anak ko ba nandito? Dalawa na kayo. Nasa taas, di ba? Lahat ng anak ko kayo. Okay. Ganito kasi yan. This is what you mean by hallowing. Okay, hallowing. Okay. Stand on the edge. Diyan na, baka mamulpid na kanya. Diyan. Okay. Tatlo sila. Dami yan. Pag sinama ko lang, pwede yan. Isipin yung may special number kami. Most people think this is proper family. Ito si dad, no? Nakaakbay ng side by side. Sa mga anak niya. That's how most people, ganun din sabihin, they will hallow what will follow. Actually, it's not like that. Most people think this is how we should teach our family. O na, sige, galingan mo, galingan mo, galingan mo. That's not how it is. Okay, come back. That's not it. It's not it. It's not it. The way it's actually supposed to be is this. Most people think it a different way. See, unconsciously, hindi natin iniisip, pero totoo, at ala natin, we tell our family, our children, what they're supposed to do. And it's supposed to be, they'll follow. Alright? Sometimes it will stop. You have to check if they're still following. And then you keep going. Kasi, ang wrong assumption ng maraming magulang is if you walk and you don't check, they'll follow anyway. Not really. So occasionally, kailangan tumingin ka sa likod if they're still following. You see? But because the truth be told, your family will hallow what you follow. You can bring them to the best places in your life, or you can bring them to great tragedy. One day, they will take their place. So a lot of us think that it's that way. Actually, there will come a time na I will not be here. I'm 48 years old. I'm 48 years old, and my father had his first stroke in his 50s. I believe he was 56. Okay? 56. Pastor, napaka-morbid ko naman. Di lang po. He was 56. So if I follow my father's tradition, I have less than 10 years. Right? So I will not always be there. But my prayer is that when I am gone, okay boys, they will start the process all over again. Ngayon, hindi po I'm trying to teach them. Pero those of you who are here, and if you're still around when I'm no longer around, hagdak ulit sila, pakipodya ka nila ng konti. Hangto ka mo lang, maalala nila yun. Huy, bumili siya ka. Most people, most parents have this, hydro hoverboard concept of family. That's not it. My prayer is that when I'm gone, I have impacted and taught them enough that they will know when to start and when to end and how they will end. They will make messes along the way, but they should know how to take care of it. Magkakalat sila, sasabit sila, magkakamali sila, but they should know the Father, relate to the Father as normal, not formal. He is God, not a religion. Thank you guys. Because in the end, you will have it. And when I make a mistake, and I pray I never do, but when I make a mistake, nasa sobrang lalang mistake ko, I don't know, I lose what God has blessed me with. And I pray that never happens. And I'm trying to keep that they will know to follow, even when that isn't followed. Because in the end, your family hallows what you follow. It's a verb. Word there. Something. So let's take this moment this morning. If you are, let's pray. If you're here and you're a father or a mother, would you bow your head? If you are single, kung single ka, pray. Run after God. Say, God, I want to follow you. Because I want to meet the right person for my life. And I won't meet them if I'm in the wrong place. I said it years ago, and I'll say it again. God's prepared places are for prepared people. Ang mga bagay na inihanda ng Panginoon ay para sa mga tao na handa na sumunod sa Kanya. Obedience is the greatest. God's prepared places are for prepared people. Prepare. When, Pastor? Now. Learn from your past mistakes. If your parents have made mistakes, don't idolize it. Recognize it. God, I'm here today, and I recognize from your word, nagkamali si mama at si papa. God, I'm here today, and I recognize na may mga mistakes silang ginawa. God, let me learn from them so I won't repeat them. Let me learn from them so I won't repeat them. If you're married today, and God is exposing your foundation, kaya magulo yan, God is exposing the foundations. And if God is exposing the foundations, it's not your job to point out who is wrong in the foundation. Pull out the foundation and put God in it. Say, God, you exposed my foundation. Pinakikita mo pa sa akin, Panginoon, yung oras na ito, yung kamalian ng pundasyon ko sa buhay, you just exposed my foundation. And if God has exposed your foundation, but goodness sakes, for your sake and your family's sake and your marriage's sake, give it up. Give it to God. And make a change. If you're married or getting married soon, say, God, let me be the person you want me to be so that I will find the person you want for me. Kaibigan, foundations take a lot of effort. Foundations take a lot of tears and build up, and foundations take a lot of time. Let God build that foundation. Dear Father, we come before you this morning. We praise you and we thank you, Lord, because of your word. It's incredible how David A man who was not a very good father. A man who's made mistakes as a father. Gives us this advice. Help us to make a statement today that obedience is the greatest teacher, not experience. Because there are many experiences you don't want us to have. Maraming experience, Panginoon, ayaw mo, Panginoon, na danasin pa namin. And so God, today, we come before you and we bring this before you, Lord Jesus. Ikaw po, Panginoon, na mag-ayos ng lahat na ito. Touch every heart and life, Lord, here. In your name we pray. Praise you, Lord. Amen.